Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon Associates, AdSense, and affiliate business for sale in the outdoor gear niche. Created in November 2015, this business makes $8,851 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the site is 44093. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. How are you doing today, Lucas?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well. You are in Poland, correct?
Yeah, right now I'm in Poland. The weather is awful.
Oh no, I'm in Florida in the United States, and the weather was pretty bad last week, but it's looking up now.
Yeah. Did you have a snow?
Actually, not in Orlando, but about 60 miles north of Orlando, there was snow in Florida.
Okay, yeah, I heard about it. Usually it was opposite. A few years back, Poland was always snowed, but right now it's raining, and you guys have a tough time.
It's just funny. It was the first time in many years that there was significant snowfall in Florida. Anyway, before we dive into the questions that I have for you today, I want to go ahead and run through a quick summary of the business. The business was built in November of 2015, has a monthly revenue of $8,873, expenses of $22 to make for a net profit of $8,851, which is generated on an 8-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the domain, site content and files, plugins and themes, graphics file, content specification, a niche-related blog site, login details for 6 Web 2.0 satellites, how-to documentation, keyword research, and social media accounts. Please note that you must have an approved AdSense account before purchasing this business to assure a successful migration. Lucas, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, sure. Well, basically, my background has been in mobile apps, games, and digital in general. I've been building companies since 2003, so I kind of consider myself as a serial entrepreneur. I co-founded 2 mobile game developers in the past, building both products and offering services. As for online businesses, these were on my radar for quite a long time, probably since 2008 or 9. It was a time when I read a couple of interesting books on the subject, and I started to explore the business models. So at the time, I was looking for new business models in the online space, specifically looking on businesses that can run passively, or at least to some extent. So around 2008 and 9, I started to read about SEO, and that sounded like something I want to pursue. I have also a quite technical skill set, so combining both business and technical aspects was something which sounded exciting to me at the time. And this is how it started. I built a couple of online businesses. This particular business is my 4th business, which is with ties to Amazon, and the 4th consecutive one to break 6 figures a year. So I'm kind of right now experienced in the topic, and I feel quite confident in building online businesses, especially those which use Amazon to some extent.
So since this is your specialty, as you said, especially with the Amazon side of things, why are you selling the business now?
Well, a couple of reasons, actually. First of all, I should have mentioned that this particular business, this is a business that I built with my friend, which is my business partner and also happens to be my neighbor. So we've been building businesses with Greg for the last 2 years. And the reasons are the following. First of all, we have another business that was somehow in a seed state last year, but right now is taking up, and actually we start seeing some first traction. And this is a business that we feel has lots of potential, and is probably, we hope it will be much bigger than the current business. So we feel it could benefit from some additional capital injected. We hope we could accelerate the growth for the next couple of months. And we also had this idea that we discussed over beer many times about starting a small software as a service business. We had an idea for a service aimed at affiliate marketers doing business on Amazon. So, this is something we've been discussing many, many times, never found time, never found money to start that. as we've been quite focused on growing this particular business that we are selling right now. So all in all, we hope we're selling to start a new thing and to focus on a new initiative. Maybe I should also add that I'm a type of guy that enjoys building businesses from the scratch. I love seeing, first dollars coming in, but I'm not necessarily a guy who loves to maintain the business and optimize the business. I know there are people out there who specialize in that and love doing that, but I'm just not that type of guy. So I prefer to start something new.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And you want to take the time and the money to be able to invest in that other business that you and your partner are currently working on.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at the business now, it's making, on average, over the last 8 months, $8,851. So about $9,000 in profit. Looking back over the last year even, are the sales, is the revenue consistent each month, or are there peak months?
Oh, they're definitely peak months. This is a seasonal business. It's a certain type of outdoor gear, and the business peaks in summer with another peak in usual, holiday months like, November and December. So these are two large peaks, with summer being the largest. So I think June or July are our best months, with August being also very decent. So basically the worst months are January, February, and then we see a pretty rapid growth starting from March through April to May, and with, summer peak. So it's kind of like sinusoid.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. So now, what are you currently doing for the business in terms of time that you're putting in?
Right now, not much. We worked on the business last year. We spent a lot of time. This is a small shop. I mean, we don't have a team except of one VA, which she's been helping us. But actually, it was my and Greg's time and dedicated to this business. And this year we kind of switched to setting up this new business that we started, adding new content for a couple of months. We kind of enjoyed, and we knew that the amount of content and that we added last year, and also last year, I mean, early 2017, actually, that amount of content was enough to see the business rolling and then growing through the year. So actually, not much happened for over half a year. We've been just looking into metrics, making sure the business grows well, checking the technical side, whether, loading times. And we also migrated business to HTTPS. This is kind of technical change, but something that we've done. And content-wise, we haven't done a lot. The business was growing because of all the activities we've done in the past.
So, Lucas, since you're currently putting in virtually no time into the business, if a new owner wanted to come in and put that time into the business, how do you see them growing the business more?
Well, the first thing a new owner could do, and this is actually something we were planning to do, but kind of didn't find time, and it was sitting on our to-do list, is simply to add more content in the existing niche. So basically, we feel that the niche is still not fully, kind of filled. There are more keyword-oriented posts like that could be added, more brands to be covered. A new owner could also consider adding individual product reviews. This is something we totally didn't focus on. So that's a nice opportunity that could bring more organic traffic to the site. And then there are a couple of similar niches that could also be covered. Social media presence, that's something we haven't done totally, except of setting up Facebook and posting a link to new posts. We haven't done anything in that space. We also have an optimized site for any conversions. So the site, I think, has only one main Amazon tag for tracking. So I know there are people who can jump in and optimize site to kind of grow the revenues right off the bat. That's something I consider a low-hanging fruit. More Amazon countries, that's also something that could be done. We haven't built an email list. That's probably one of the biggest, missed opportunities, because we had over 500,000 users on the site last year. So I guess we could somehow benefit from building a list early on. We haven't done it. That's a new opportunity. And then one more thing we were thinking on was to build relationships with product manufacturers. So we actually got several requests regarding reviews, like review requests. And this industry has seen a number of new players coming in over the past 1-2 years. So we're confident that these companies are simply looking for attention to get their products in front of the customers, and the site has targeted traffic. So I believe there are some opportunities to build relationships with them and also score some direct advertising deals. That could be possible for someone who has the right experience and is willing to dedicate some time. Unfortunately, we couldn't dedicate that much time. We both have kids, small kids, that takes time. So we've been able to grow the site content-wise to the current level, which is about 60 posts. But there's more to be done, and we just need, right new owner to take over this site and grow it to the next level.
And expenses for the business are extremely low at only about $22 every month. So why are the expenses so low? What do they go to? And how do you feel like that serves to highlight the business's worth more?
Well, the expenses are low because last year we didn't have any, custom expenses. Actually, we just had in January and February 2017, we had a writer working on those last articles that we published. And later on, we just left the site and been collecting checks and also seeing the site grow. So you guys take 8 months average into account. So that's why it's only $22. Earlier on in late 2015, early 2016, we've been spending way much money to grow the site, but still, it's cumulatively it made over $100,000 in earnings, and we spent maybe like 3 or 4K to date. So majority of this was spent early on, actually before the site made our first dollar.
Are there any big risks associated with this business, with buying this business, that you feel a potential buyer should be aware of?
Well, I can't see risk related to this business itself, but there are risks associated with the platforms the business depends on. So the Google and Amazon. Of course, the Google can change something on their end, and they did it in the past. But we always been focused on the content. So as long as the new owner will focus on bringing value to users and won't use any shady tactics, the business is completely safe. Another risk is Amazon. There are also TNCs that the businesses like this should be complied with. We made sure the business meets all TNCs from Amazon. So that's, we feel confident that the business is here for a long term. And actually, it has been designed and built to stand a test of time. So can't see other risks, actually.
I mean, something that's just interesting about this business is you mentioned that you're not really putting any time in. You haven't updated the content in half a year, yet you're still making about $9,000 a month on average. So, I mean, that just shows the potential that this business has. And if someone were to come along and utilize the social media platforms, if they were to generate an email list, do all the other things that you talked about earlier too, there's just so much potential for this business, seeing as it already has such a strong foundation with no time invested.
That's correct. Many opportunities. The business has a very stable earnings. I mean, this is a very nice run rate. We are talking about 100K run rate a year. I believe it's because of the strong foundations. Simply, we did it with care, and the content on the site is awesome. So, it can run passively. It can continue to run passively. Of course, I wouldn't leave it like that and forget about it. But I think that the biggest opportunity here is to take over the business and, dedicate some time to growing that. And I think it's easier to grow the business that's already bringing revenue than starting a new one. For me, it's not that much fun to be working on a business that's already stable, making money. I prefer to grow business from the scratch, but I'm sure there will be plenty of people interested in growing this further.
Would you commit to a non-compete?
Yeah, that's not a problem. The other business that I mentioned that we have and growing right now is in a completely different niche. So we don't plan to jump into the same niche again.
How much support are you willing to offer a buyer during the transition period?
As much as needed, really. We can do a couple of phone calls, Skype calls in the first month or so, but we're flexible. We also have some documentation. We already have some, which we've done for our VA. We can write down key things on how to use key plugins that we use on a daily basis, things like that. We can write this down and make sure the new owner understands that. So, it's to be confirmed, but we want to make sure that the business is, that the new owner is familiar with the business and how to operate it.
Obviously, the best case scenario is that someone comes along and offers a 100% cash offer of what you're looking for the business. But if that didn't happen, are you open to other kinds of deals, like, for instance, an earnout?
We can consider this. That's not something I initially thought, because I thought that the ticket is too small. From my past experience, earnout was starting above 7 figures. But if a new owner wants to, will suggest a structure that's going to be, kind of in line with the size of this business, then yeah, we can think about it and we can consider this.
Awesome, Lucas. I thank you. I have one final question for you. Before we get there, I'm going to go ahead and run through that quick summary of the business again. The business was built in November of 2015, has a monthly revenue of $8,873, expenses of $22 to make for a net profit of $8,851, which is generated on an 8-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the domain, site content and files, plugins, themes, graphics files, content specification, a niche-related blog site, login details for 6 Web 2.0 sites, keyword research for new posts, and social media accounts. Please note that you must currently have an approved AdSense account before purchasing this business to ensure a successful migration of the business. Lucas, what is your best 30-second pitch on why someone should purchase this business?
Well, the business has been done with care. It's built for a long term, has a very strong foundations. It's growing. It's not too young. It's not too old. It's a 3-year-old business with plenty potential to grow. The niche is also growing. It's fun, actually. Lots of new companies seeking ways to showcase their products. Now, there's really low amount of time needed if you want to keep the current earnings level, which is about 100K a year. But there are plenty of opportunities to scale up this business for someone who will dedicate time and will work on it further. So, with that in mind, we think the business is very attractive, and for someone experienced, it offers plenty of new areas to grow it in a reasonably short time.
It's very apparent that, as you said, very little time goes into the business with huge profits. You say that you're not putting any time in, yet you're still churning out thousands of dollars every single month, which is attributed to the huge and awesome foundation, very strong, that you have going for the business that you spoke about, as well as different opportunities that are available for a new owner to grow the business even more. I agree that it sounds like it has super strong foundation for the future.
Good to hear that.
Lucas, thank you for taking the time to be with me today, all the way from Poland. Isn't that just the coolest thing, talking all the way across the Atlantic Ocean?
Yeah, it's 21st century.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's pretty cool. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing site and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you will be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.